my workroom is on the first floor, and one day I was looking out of the window as a car drove past backwards and forwards half a dozen times, and I assumed it was a client come to pick something up. And eventually this woman got out of her car, came down the drive and said, "Could we use your house in a comedy show? It's perfect." I thought that sounded quite interesting. She came and had a look around, took photographs everywhere, and eventually the programme got made, and it was called Spaced, and that became a cult programme. So every day for the last 12 years we've had people photographing the house. As a result, the same production team made another comedy called Black Books, and so they came and used the house in one episode of that. Oh, Bill Bailey in my lounge. This lounge was a psychiatrist's office, and that was a total joy. So literally every comedian I love has worked in this house.
Well, the house was built by George Truefit, who was the surveyor for Lord Toffnot in 1870, and he designed and built the whole of Carleton Road, and this is one of the few remaining examples of his work, and it was listed in the 1970s as an example of his architecture, and which is neo-Gothic style, and very sharp and pointy.
We'd always lived in flats and in quite small spaces which should always be painted white to make them look bigger. So that's how I came into this house and suddenly realised that we could have any colour because we have an enormous amount of space. And we have 3 sets of stained glass windows. So I figure I'm welcome to use any of the colours in the windows, which is most of the colours of the rainbow. All the picture frames are made of palettes we found in the street. I think we were both brought up in homes where we weren't hugely encouraged to bring friends home, and we both wanted to. So we thought when we have space and we have our children, we would like it to be an inclusive environment. So it's been a party house since we bought it. I was at college studying ceramics and realised that wasn't really what I wanted to be doing. I'd always sewn, and one day a friend of mine asked if I could make a small garment for a TV commercial, which I did, and got up very early one morning to watch the advert, and the thing that I had spent 2 days making, it was a girl on a swing, and she swung literally once. She didn't even swing back. So it was literally 1 second, 2 days work, 1 second of film. Exciting enough to want to continue. I do quite an unusual job. There are not that many people that sew in this business, so I do pop videos and commercials and films, and I could honestly work every day of the year. The work never runs out. And I really like to meet people. I've worked with Robbie Williams since he appeared at the Royal Albert Hall, which I think was in about 2000. So I've made several videos with him, and we've just finished one video a couple of weeks ago for his new single, and now he's appearing at the O2, so I'm making his costume and waiting for the trousers to arrive so I can start work, which is pretty much the story of a lot of jobs. You spend a lot of time waiting around and then you have to rush to get the job finished. Adele is pregnant at the moment and I am her tailor, so yes, I do work with her, and while she's off, it's private jobs for her, not red carpet at the moment. I used to watch Doctor Who when I was really small, proper scary programme, watching through my fingers or from behind the sofa, and now suddenly in much later years I work on Doctor Who. It's really the stories about meeting people that I've admired for years. Like, one of my favourite films is being John Malkovich, and then I worked with John Malkovich was extraordinary and a lovely thing to do. I had one embarrassing moment in all my years in this industry, and that was meeting someone and getting completely tongue-tied. And it was Geoffrey Rush, and I was doing a film about Peter Sellers. And Geoffrey Rush, who looks nothing like Peter Sellers in real life, I was walking through the car park, taking costume from one truck to another, and I bumped into Peter Sellers, who I knew was dead. So And he cheerily said hello to me, and I just looked at him. I don't think I could even make a noise, and regretted it very much, because I wanted to say, "Oh my God, you look amazing, you look just like Peter Sellers," but my words couldn't come out. I get to work in my home, which I love. I can pick and choose my hours because I'm self-employed, and I get to work with pretty much the coolest people on the planet. What's there not to love? And I got to look after my children myself. I deliberately chose a profession where I could be at home all the time, and it shows in the children. The band is called the Lee Griffiths, and he had a recording contract. He's working on his third album in the house.
You know exactly what you're doing. You're playing with fire, you know it's okay. But you got to slow down, 'cause you move at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You're gonna burn yourself out, you know it's okay. But you got to slow down. And if you don't stop me now, I'll sit and I'll just talk away for hours. And I'll tell you a story about my life. But I wouldn't want to bore you. You know, you remind me of my sister, and that makes me feel nice, you know. And it's okay. You got to slow down. And if you don't stop me now, I'll sit and I'll just talk away for hours. And I'll tell you a story about my life. But I wouldn't want to bore you. Finding out that I could do something that I realised a lot of other people couldn't do, it gave me self-confidence. Then it raised my expectations in life to the point where I became laser focused on getting a record deal, which initially at that point was the focal point. But anyway, I ended up getting a big one. It was incredible. You know, travelled all over the world, to LA recording with Trevor Horn, and you know, hanging out with Seal and all this kind of nonsense. But it's all very shallow and crap. The music is the bottom line. At 8 o'clock at night, you can be sat with a blank piece of paper and a piece of lovely 6 strings, and at 9 o'clock, 9:30, you can have something that's actually it's there, it's tactile, it's in your hands, and it will last probably longer than you. I gained all my self-confidence from it, played some amazing places. Glastonbury, worked with some amazing people, some amazingly gifted people, and it's something that's in my soul. I don't do it for money or anything like that now. I do it just because if I didn't do that, what else would I do? When I first come here, I mean, the size of the place for a start off, but they're so free with the place. It's a place where you're not sort of looking for shit on your shoes or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? They just let you just be in your own space. It's a really warm, friendly place.
Our youngest son Oscar is studying music at college.
While I was at university, Lee had the idea to move in his recording equipment so that he could just set up a bit of a live recording experience, just do some very easy sort of location recording style projects, and slowly that evolved into a fully blown studio as it is today. He brought over more of his stuff, and after conversing with my dad, they decided that if they were going to do it, they'd do it properly.
Steve made a studio.
They built us a studio, man. Do you know what I mean? Because because one, they're artistic and sort of creative people anyway, massively so. And Steve has got this unbelievable ability to be able to make, if you need a surface to air missile, then Steve can do it, and Chris will dress it really, really nicely as well. Well, I found after touring now for nearly 20 years, that there's two places that you can visit that there's music in the soul, and that's Scotland and Ireland, right? And no matter what genre of music you play, no matter what style you play, if you play it well, then they will respect you and they will love you. If you're bad or you're fake, then they are merciless and they don't want to know, and they'll let you know it quite quickly and clearly. But when I went to Ireland, my family come from Ireland, and it was joyous, man. Because in the streets of Dublin, as you're walking through the streets, there's no inhibition with regards to music, which is in England. If I sit down in a front room in England, say in London or Manchester or whatever, with a very sort of what you class as normal set of people, it's uncomfortable for them for some of them to have someone sit and sing a song in front of them. It makes them uncomfortable. In Ireland, if they know that you can sing, then they won't let you rest until you've done it. And everyone sings. It doesn't matter if you can sing or not. It's not about how good your voice is or how well you play. It's just about, it's lovely. I love it. It's in the soul, man. And some of the musicians there, they taught me that this wasn't about money. It wasn't about success. It wasn't about prestige. It wasn't about any of that bullshit. It was I mean, you don't write a song like "Lay Me Down" like the Frames wrote, or you don't write a song like "The Blower's Daughter" like Damien Rice wrote. If you're bullshitting, that's got to come from right inside you, that one, and it touches you, and that's what makes a song last, I believe, anyway. And the Irish, I love them. I do, because there's no inhibition with them. They love it. See, the third album has been being written for a while now. It's half recorded. Brad just needs to get an element of focus to finish it off. I'm actually getting to that point now, which is nice. Say what you like to me, if it makes you feel better, as long as they can see what you have achieved. Yeah. And is that really you? Are you telling me the truth? Are you rising up above the fools around you? Now will you run for your life? Leave the rest behind. Will you run for your life? And I watch your back, and you watch mine. And just when you think the moment's right, you're feeling good and the future's bright, you just take what you've learned, hold on tight, and keep
Bye, thanks for coming.
say what you like to me, if it makes you feel better, as long as they can see what you have achieved. And is that really you? Are you telling me the truth? Are you rising up above the fools around you? Now will you run for your life and leave the rest behind? Now will you run for your life? And I watch your back, and I watch your back, yeah. And I watch your back.